Welcome back, guys. We'll start by designing our first project, which is a food delivery app. So I'll first create a frame by selecting the frame tool in the toolbar and create a shape. Then create an iPhone 14 Pro Max and I rename that to splash screen ng food. Yes. So next thing I'll do, I'll just zoom in, then select the wireframe plugin. My target in this plugin is to search for something I can just drag and drop without much customization. Okay, let me put this one for now, depending when I see what I want. So I'll still scroll down in search of any second wireframe I might like. Because this is a splash screen, you need to look exactly like a splash screen. Okay, yeah, I prefer this one. So I'll delete the old one and drag and drop this new one. Yes, this is looking very wonderful. So that is done because of the bottom radial circles I'm seeing there. So I'll click and drag my text object, increase the font, and I'll just type wide range of food categories and more. Yes, wide range of food categories and more. So I'll change that to extra bold and increase the font to 32 pixels. So what I'll do is I'll increase the image up, I'll move it up, then I'll move the title text up. Then now this is the subtitle text, which is a lorem ipsum. But before that, I'll change the text to regular and reduce the font size. Then I'll call a lorem ipsum plugin. I'll run that, then drag and drop a text space. Yes, then I'll auto generate. Voila. As you can see, it just fills that space with lorem ipsum text. This is very helpful whenever you're working with your design files in Figma. So I'll further adjust the image above, then shift the title and subtitle text. Next thing I need to do now is to fill it with a color. So because this is a low fidelity design. So I'll click wireframe. Let me look for button. Okay. There's no button here. So I have to create it manually using the rectangle tool. So I'll just reduce the heights again, reduce the heights, then click it. I'll just type next with a greater than sign to indicate move on to the next page. Then the next thing I'll do is to change it to regular, highlight the tool, shift it up a little bit, reduce my image wireframe, highlight the 3 elements below, shift it up a bit. Next to do is to shift the button down a bit, then duplicate it using the Alt key. So I'll remove the background rectangle on that and change it to skip. After that, next thing I'll do is to create a new frame. This will be the login page. So I'll rename this to login ng food. The next thing I will do is to change it to text tool and type welcome, Ctrl B to make that bold, shift it up, add an exclamation mark and type the subtitle below. Change the font size, login or sign up. Yeah, sign up or log into your account. Yes, you use Ctrl Shift and less than to reduce the font size. Then use the arrow keys to shift it up. Mind you can use your arrow keys once you click on the elements by the left side of the software to shift the element either up, down, left, or right. Okay, so the next thing I'll do is I'll duplicate this button, take it up. Yes, then I'll rename the text in it. From next, I'll rename that to something else. Yes, basically that's just it. So I'll add a border radius to this to make it look, the edge looks a bit sharper. Yes, this is cool. So I'll also add it to this splash screen. Rounded corners, that's just what I did with the border radius. So after that, I'll duplicate the button, then change the text to sign up, then remove it from bold and change this other one to login. I'll leave it on bold because this is the login screen. So next thing I'll do is to reduce the opacity of the background rectangle elements. behind the sign up text. Yes. And I'll use the rectangle tool to create email address text input. Yes, so this is the text email address. So I'll just create a text input for email address, add border radius of 12 to it, reduce the opacity. Yes, this is looking good. Next one will be enter your email, enter your passwords. So enter your email. This is the placeholder. Yes. I'm going to change the blend mode. I'll just leave it in pass through, then reduce the opacity. Yes, so I'll highlight the three things duplicated below, then change this to password. Enter your password. Enter your password. Yes. Okay. As you can see, our low fidelity design is coming up to shape. So I'll increase the opacity for that. Forgot your password with a question mark. Yep. Then I'll underline it and align it by the right below the text input of password. The next one will be or login using, yes, I'll just do that in camel case. Or login using, this second option of logging in is the social icons. Yes, so I'm looking for further icons. I'll just search a social icon here. Let me see if I'll get it. Facebook, okay, that's great. Facebook, increase the size, holding the Alt key, I'll put it below. Okay, Google, okay, Google is not there. Google is not there. I'll just put LinkedIn because they are all social media login modes. Then the next one will be Twitter. Okay, I just use the ones that are available with a 27 pixel gutter space in between them, which is good. Yes, then I'll copy the button, move it to my login frame, and I'll expand it to span across the frame. So I'll edit the text to login and I'll delete the greater than sign, sorry. Okay, I think I'll leave that for now and work on the spacing between my buttons and the text. Yes, I think everything is looking good. So I'll proceed to the next phase, which might be another screen. Yes, I'll just hold out and duplicate the login screen and I'll edit that to the sign up. So I'll just shift the positions of the login and sign up buttons. Yes, because now the sign up button will be bold and the login button will be normal text without the bold option. Bold shifts and change that to login, change this to sign up, align it, then select everything and move it. Yes, this is looking good. So full name, enter your full name. Yes, then I'll just highlight everything, shift it up a bit, duplicate it. Yes, I'll just, before I duplicate it, I'll edit this to phone number. Enter your, email address, sorry. Enter your email address. Shift it up. Then I'll duplicate it. Delete the forgot password. Highlight the three elements, duplicate it, move it down, then change it to password. Create password. Enter your password. Yes, that's great. So align everything to the center of the frame. So I think that's it. So I'll just duplicate the Facebook, LinkedIn, and move them into the login frame. So, and I'll duplicate that to the sign up frame or sign up using social media channels. Then I'll change the login text to next. Yes. and everything is looking good. Then the next one, I'll create a frame. This frame now would serve as the home screen. I'll just zoom in that and create a frame. First of all, I'll search the location icon. I'll rename this. I'll rename it from iPhone 14 Pro Max to home screen. Yes. So I'll move the location stuff to the top left side of the frame. Then I'll do the time on to increase it a bit, location and time. Sorry that this video is becoming lengthy, but I just want to merge everything into one video, all the wireframes, not to make the session long. So I'll just type 32 Kingston and drag everything into the home screen, so that whenever I'm moving that particular frame, everything within moves around along with it. So I'll change that to order now. Then I'll just highlight everything and move it to the middle of the frame to have equal gutter from the left and the right side. So, good evening, Louisa. This will be the title. Then I'll just drag and drop a rectangle, just duplicate one from the previous frame. And I'll use the feather icons and put the search icon. Yes, then I'll just duplicate the 32 Kingston Streets, and I'll rename that to something else. So I'll, as usual, just double click it. I'll drag the search into the home screen, double click this search food, restaurants, etc. Yes, this is looking great. Yes. Okay. The next one will be, I'll just duplicate the title and edit that to categories and change it to medium. Font width to medium. So I'll just create ellipse tools. Using the ellipse tool, I'll create a circle and I'll duplicate that like 3 times. Then I'll just use the tidy up for the alignment functionality. Then I'll duplicate that below. And I'll duplicate the last one again. Yes, and I'll increase it a bit and shift this ones to align by the center of the last one. Yes, tidy up everything. Okay, so see all. I'll move it into the last frame. And the feather icons, I'll just use the forward arrow. Yes, center that. Just to see all the categories. Drag everything into the home screen frame. Home screen ng full. Okay, as you can see, everything is coming alive. So I'll load, this will be a horizontal line. I'll just reduce the height and give it, yes, reduce the height, give it a black color, then duplicate the categories. Yes, duplicate the categories and rename that to news and trending. So this is the news and trending section, like the blog news of the app. So I'll give that rectangle a radius of 12 pixels. Then I'll offset this next rectangle to the right side of the frame. So for the plugins, I'll just search image. Yes, drag and drop the image. I'll expand that using the Alt key. Once it's at the center, I will just drag and drop the image in the home screen frame. Duplicate that. Duplicate it to reduce the size. And at the center, duplicate it for all the ellipse above. Yes, I was supposed to do that earlier. I just forgot. So there will be an image there. Mind you, this is a low fidelity design. So I'll just duplicate the text beside the ellipse and change that to Harvey's 2.1 miles. Yeah. I think that's just it. Then I'll reduce the font size. I'll make them, align them by the center, shift it below the first news, duplicate the image and shift it above the ellipse 2. Duplicate everything, shift it by the right, and rename that to KFC, maybe 1.1 miles or so. Yes. Okay. So everything is looking good. So look for my feather icons, search for home. Now I want to do my search for other things, my bottom screen navigation. This is what I'm trying to work on now. So I'll just search for icons that will match a nice bottom screen navigation. Okay, which one am I going to pick now? I'll try and pick something intuitive that will look creative at least. Yes, sticks. Increase the size, shift the home, select the group, shift it, increase the size again. Yes, put the dicks. And I'll search for other icons. Which other icon am I going to use? Okay, use this. Oop. Then I'll just duplicate the image and the ellipse. Then I'll align everything. Okay, if it's not working, I'll just use my mouse to move everything manually. Yes, move this manually too. Yes. Okay. Nice. Okay. Then I'll do the last one. I'll zoom out. As you can see, everything is looking good. So we're coming to the end of this video. Sorry for the lengthy nature of that. So this is to show that we're currently at the home screen of the low fidelity. Welcome back, guys. In this video, we'll be focusing on the splash screen UI design. So I'll just hold the Alt key and duplicate this particular frame. So we'll focus on the high fidelity design in this video. So what I'll start with now is changing the image. I'm going to select that frame and put an image there. I'll just select anything, maybe like food, since we're working on a food delivery app. So once that's loaded, okay, let's delay a bit. Okay, yeah, it's loaded. I don't know why it didn't confine the pictures to the borders of the frame. So, but I think what I will do is as a mask. Okay, nope, that's not working. Oh, okay. My frame is outside the splash screen. Yes, so just delete one of them and drag one into my splash screen. Yes. So, okay, these are all vectors. I'll just flatten them and use it as a mask for the pictures. Yes, sometimes you can flatten SVGs to become one file. Makes everything easier for you. So what next I will do now is to basically see how I can modify this my splash screen. I'm just trying to understand where this my multimedia wireframe. I have two, so I need to paste all of them inside their individual or their respective parent frame, which is the low fidelity splash screen and the high fidelity splash screen. If it doesn't work for me, I'll just delete this and use a rectangle to achieve what I want. I just want to show you guys how it's easy to modify vectors, SVGs, and a lot of things using Figma. And I'm also trying to categorize and group them in a structured manner. Pardon my back and front movement, but it's just to make sure that we have everything in place. So I'll just go ahead and use a rectangle. This is giving me an issue, so I'll just click food. In less than a minute, the picture is just going to appear in the rectangle. Great. So I'll just add the drop shadow effect. Then yes, the shadow is okay. Yeah, the shadow is okay. So the next thing I will do is to add color to the button. I'll just give it a color. Yeah, give it a blue color, then give the text a white color. So as you can see, our splash screen is already looking great, just like a high fidelity wireframe or mockup. So the next thing I would love to do here is to make something like very, very small circles to indicate like I'll duplicate them into 3, give it a red color so that to like indicate 3 images in the splash screen. And the first one we're seeing now is like the current image. So I'll just change the color of the other 2 for it to look like the one in red is the currently displayed image. So I'll add a border radius to the image frame and also increase the drop shadow so that it will look very, very, very nice. So yeah, increase the spread, increase the blur, and also increase the percentage. And I think that's all for this video. See you guys in the next one. Welcome back, guys. In this video, we're redesigning the low fidelity login page to the high fidelity one. So I just copied and pasted some icons I downloaded on the internet, which is the Facebook, Google, and Twitter by the side. And I'll go ahead renaming the frame of the splash screen to high fidelity wireframe splash screen. Then I'll also rename the login page frame to high fidelity wireframe so that you all understand the distinct differences between low fidelity and high fidelity. So we'll go ahead and give the background of the rectangle a color, which signifies our button, and the text will be white. The same thing here, text will be white. Okay, no, the text will be pink. Then the background will be like ash. Yes, that's just what happened. Give it multiply, blend mode, then shift the text a little bit. So it gives the illusion that the login page is what is currently on the screen. So for the social media icons, I'll just delete that. Then import the icons I downloaded from the internet, Google, Facebook, and Twitter, and give them nice gutter in between them. Just tidy that up. Everything looks good. Resize it a little bit and align it to the left. Yes. So once that's done, I'll just give the background of the login. I'll just give that. Before I do that, I'll draw a circle. Yes, I'll draw a circle, give it a stroke. Let me see, I just wanted to add more design features to these social media icons for it to make look catchy. Let me see if that's gonna work. First of all, no, it's still giving me issues. No, I'll just go ahead, please. So I'll change the login background, change the text to white, then give it a drop shadow for the rectangle, give all the rectangles here a drop shadow. So as you can see, as I just zoomed in, everything is looking very, very good. Give everything drop shadow and scroll up. I think that's all for this video. Yes, that's also, as you can see, the high fidelity is looking quite different from the low fidelity one. Welcome back, guys. So we'll go ahead and convert our low fidelity sign up to high fidelity one. So I'll hold the Alt key and drag the frame of the low fidelity down, and it duplicates it, and I change the low word to high. So we'll go ahead and add some colors and life to this. I'll just first of all delete the social icons, highlight the previous ones in the logo, group them, rename them, and also hold the Alt key and Shift to align everything horizontally as I drag to my sign up modal. So I'll also bring this blob and use the arrow keys to shift it by the right hand side or right edge of my screen. Then I'll also, you saw the edit I made to the login and sign up button with the background. So I'll just hold out and shift that into my sign up frame. Then I'll just make a little changes. Once I align that by the center, shift it up a bit. So the sign up, I'll just bring it one side. Then the login, I'll move it to the right. Then align the sign up bar and edit it to login. Double click that, triple click it, and I type login. So for the login, I'll just also double click it, then change that to sign up. Then shift the text to align well, and also shift the text of sign up for it to align well within the button. Yes. So I'll just align that center horizontally and vertically. I think that's all. So I'll just edit this to sign up, then edit this to login. So as you observe, I always group, I try to, as much as possible, to group all my layers so that when I want to off and on anyone, it's easy for identification. So then the button now, I will just do a little edit my own button. Just click that and click that, click the next, just delete it and copy the previous one I bring here. Then change the login text to sign up. Yeah, or just change that to next for now. Yes, change that to next. Let's see if there's any other screen before you finally enter the maybe verification of email. So I think that's all for this video. As you can see, everything is looking good. See you guys in the next one. Welcome back, guys. So we'll convert our low fidelity home screen to high fidelity one. As usual, I click the frame of the low fidelity, hold Alt key and duplicate it, and change the text from low to high. After that, I'll just do a quick zoom in to start customizing from my header down to the footer of this screen. So we'll first start with the background for this location icon and the text. So I'll just change that to a rectangle because an ellipse is not going to work. Yes, so I'll change that to a rectangle. I just wanted to have a rounded borders and I forgot that I could achieve that with a rectangle. So after that, I just added the border radius of 30, then push the element, which is the rectangle, below the text on the layers section. Yes, so that's just it. So now move it up. Look at everything aligned nice and clean. So next thing I'll do is to just change the color. Then I'll reduce the opacity of whichever color I decide to use. Yes. So I'll change the color of the text also, then reduce the opacity of the background rectangle. So I'll change the color of the logo, but I remind you it's a vector. So I'll highlight the two shapes inside the vector and change the stroke color, then resize it holding the Alt key and shift it a little bit beside the text. So as you can see, everything is looking good. Then I'll just click the rectangle and hold Alt key. Yes, I'll just click the rectangle, hold Alt key to duplicate the background of this location. I did copy. You can also do copy and paste, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. That's what I did. So I'll just group this order now. As you can see, I'm trying to group everything so that everything will look good. Then I'll bring the other rectangle inside order now, then shift it by the right, then reduce the width. Highlight the vectors and change the stroke, yes, to the desired color, also the text to the desired color. So as you can see, everything is looking good. So for the search icon, I'll highlight the two elements inside the search and change the color to blue. Yes, you can also use hex codes when you're changing color, but I just prefer using the color palettes, the ones that's already down there. So I'll highlight all this and change the fill color. Yes, change the fill color to what I'm currently working with. Yes, so after that, sorry about that. After changing the fill color to the desired color I want, I'll just highlight the image vector and try to put an image there. But before I do that, I'll delete the placeholders. Sorry, I'll do that on a random. Let me see if it's going to work. If it doesn't work, then I have to delete the placeholders and insert image on the ellipse on it by itself. So sorry for my network speed. It's currently downloading the images. And once that's done, you're going to see an image that's going to pop up inside the ellipse that you're seeing on your screen. So 60%. Okay, still working. I seriously apologize for my network speed. I don't know why I'm having that kind of network. Okay, as you can see, this is not what I want. So I have to just delete it. Like I said earlier, and highlight, create a new circle, highlight it. Yes, create a new circle. Just gonna duplicate that, duplicate it again, duplicate it like 5 times. Yes, click another one. Yes, and I'll duplicate another. I'm just trying to identify them since they don't have a stroke. Duplicate this one down, then duplicate it by the side. So after that, I will just highlight everything and call my own splash plugin so that I can randomly place image between them. Yes, but before that, just bring this down a bit. Sorry for the lengthy video. I just need to try and finish everything in one video. That's why you see I take time to make sure things are categorized and organized. So there you have it. The random function now is going to strategically place images using the fill mode in the ellipses that are currently highlighted, which are the smaller circles inside the bigger ones. Yes, so it's not supposed to be taking time. Mind you, Figma does everything with internet connection. So if you see that mine is slowing a bit, don't worry, it's from my own point, it's from my own end, my network. So don't mind that. So I'm just zooming a bit, highlight all these images. Sorry about that distraction. Highlight this, yes. Let me just try. Yeah, okay. It actually placed the images, but because it was behind the bigger circles, it was not showing. So now I'll just try to group all of them, each smaller ellipse and the bigger ellipse. So mind you, layering is another very important factor in Figma, just as it is in Photoshop, Illustrator, and Adobe XD. So if a layer is below a background, the image or whatever vector you're working on wouldn't be visible. So that's basically what just happened here that confused me a bit. So I'm just currently trying to group each ellipse, each circle, the little circle and the parent circle, the child circle and the parent circle. I'm just trying to group all of them so that everything will look nice and clean. So aside that, just have it in mind that when you're working with Figma, try and group everything to be very nice. So I'll group the last one and I'll just rename it to see all. I hope you guys are enjoying this video. If you're enjoying it, kindly drop in the comments section or your own opinion, whatever you think about how I teach my courses and what you feel I need to improve on. So I'm just trying to group everything. That's why you see I'm just taking time to throw some more light on the whole methodologies used in design on Figma software. So let me just close some groups and see what else I need to group. Okay, when I go below, I'll group those ones. So for now, in the see all, the ellipse, I'll just change the color, change it to blue. Yeah, change to that color. Then the stroke, give it a very wonderful stroke. Yes, it's a very wonderful stroke. Then I'll remove the fill. I'll remove the fill. Okay, before I do that, I think I'll just change the fill of this to white. No, okay. It's grouped, so I'll go and click the elements inside the group and change it to blue. Yes, then click the ellipse and delete the fill. So as you can see, it gives you that nice see also. You can see now food categories, I grouped everything inside it. So once I off that, everything disappears. So once I put it back on, you see everything come back. So that's how I group each section of my design, from the header, the logo, the content, the footer, and also the text. So once that's done, so look at everything come alive in our high fidelity home screen version. What we're actually doing, we converted the low fidelity, we're trying to convert it to the high fidelity wireframe. So you can see the high fidelity has more colors and it looks more alive with bit of lots of shadows and everything, different from the low fidelity one above that we designed earlier in this course. So I also delete these placeholders of images as usual. Remember, it doesn't work. So I'll just highlight the rectangle and use Unsplash to put images, random images. So I'll use technology for now, or food. Yeah, because we're working on food. So like I said, network speed matters when working on the FIGMA software. It's not offline, just like Photoshop. So as you can see, it gives me two random images that are looking good. So I also delete the placeholder of these images on, I'll just zoom in, delete the placeholders too, because it's not working. Hold the shift and click the next one. No, it's not working. So I'll just, it's not working, yes. So I'll just use the layer to identify what I need to delete. Yes, so delete the two of them. Then highlight the two ellipses and give it a portrait, random of portraits or maybe food. Yeah, portraits. Yes, because no. Even if it's not portraits, yes, I think I'll just go with portrait. I wanted to give it logo of KFC, but doesn't matter. Maybe later I'll change that. Okay, let me just do it. So I'll click this one. The Harvey sounds more of like human name, and the KFC sounds more of like a brand name. So this is me just designing with the users in that mind, so that they will not be confused. So remember, in the methodologies we described earlier in the course, I will mention some of all this in the concepts when designing using Figma software. So once that's done, I'll just group these three things in the first element, news one, then group the second one to be news two. Once you're grouping, use the visibility button off and on it to actually know if what you're grouping is working right. So I can use the shift key, highlight everything, either press Ctrl G or right click them and press group, but on the layer section. So I'll rename that to news and trending. So if I off it, you see news and trending section goes off immediately. So the final one I have to group is the footer menu, the bottom menu on this design. But before I do that, I'll just try and put in a little colors. I'll just put portraits because it shows a human, shows a human profile picture signed in the app. So I don't think there's much I need to do in this section. So just type like home. Yes, just type home, shift it by the middle of the icon. Use Alt key, duplicate it, rename it to discover, shift it to be to the center, use Alt key, rename this one too, just rename it to orders, shift it to the middle, hold Alt key, then rename this one to profile. Reduce the size of the image and rename it to profile. So as you can see, it took our time, but bit by bit, we actually achieved what we want. The software, the designer is looking more alive. So that's just, I'll just align every other thing to come align in the middle. Okay, so if I zoom out now, you will see that everything, this homepage is currently looking very, very, very alive. So I can change the feel of this home by highlighting the elements inside there. You understand? I can change it, but I don't think it's necessary. So just look at it. Everything is looking good. Everything is looking good. So if there's anything I need to do now, it's just to group everything. Just group this to profile. Group second one, just group it to others. Same way, use shift key, group. Just group it to discover. Then group the last one, hold shift key and click the two things, elements, or press Ctrl G. And I'll group the three of them and rename it to menu bar. So as you can see, our design is looking very, 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 very good. So try to group everything in their corresponding groups. Welcome back, guys. In this video, we'll run a prototype of these 4 frames, which is our food delivery app. Yes, so I'll click the prototype pane. So click the next button, drag it to my login, change it from instant to smart animate. You can always play around with this, so make sure yours is always different from mine. I just select on random whenever I'm working with prototyping. So for the sign up, I'll push it to the login page, the same thing, change it to something else. Then for the login, I'll move it back to the login page, change it to something else in the smart animate options. Then for the login button, I'll move that to the home screen. Maybe just select push or smart animate and select bouncy. Then for the no, I just want the profile screen. Yes. For the profile screen, I'll push it back to the login. We just want that to serve as our logout for now. And I think that's all. I'll go ahead with selecting the frame, gold, iPhone 14 Pro Max gold, and I'll click the play button, then maximize it for it to actually show what we're working with in Figma. So this will show us the flow of this food delivery app prototype. So mind you, Figma works with network speed. And I don't know what's wrong with my ISP today, but for now, you guys should just pardon me on that. Okay, yes, it's up. It's up. Just look how wonderful this design is looking. So as you can see, if I click the sign up, it takes us to sign up. If I click the login, it takes us back to login. If I click next, okay, I didn't wireframe next on the sign up, but for next on the login, you can see it's working. You can see it's working. If I click profile, it takes us back to login, simulating the logout process. So I didn't simulate the sign up. Yes, I didn't simulate the sign up button. Yes, next, I didn't simulate this. So I'll still drag it to the home screen and just select any animation transition. So mind you, you can always play around with these transitions to make everything look unique. So I think that's all. Then I'll still preview, click next, you see, click sign up, login, click profile. And I think that's all for now. See you guys in the next video.